Alright, so for those of you just tuning in, we're about to spectate a 2 versus 2 versus 2 viewer game as part of my weekly Twitch TV live streams. If you want to get in on this, you can find my live streaming schedule by going to my Twitch page or following me on Facebook and Twitter. That's how you know when I'm live streaming next, and I'd love to have you here, as YouTube has recently changed their community guidelines, so I can't actually post videos that are saying I'm live streaming now, so you gotta do those other things. This is going to be a 2 versus 2 versus 2, which should be pretty interesting because we don't normally do that. And without further ado, let's jump straight into the game. As always, I'll be providing some commentary on their civilization choices, strategies, the map, the metagame, to improve your overall understanding of the game. But of course, it's game time, so let's do this. We're playing on Salt Marsh, which is a very different Salt Marsh from the one you may be familiar with in the Conquerors, heavily rebalanced in the Steam expansions for Age of Empires 2 HD Edition. And what I did is I took that exact same map and I added some of the new graphical assets. So functionally the same as the regular Salt Marsh in the expansions, but it contains rainforest trees and water buffaloes, of course. And I think it has a chance for elephants and whatnot. But today they're javelinas, I suppose. So let's take a brief moment to introduce the players. We have the Spice Queen of Swaziland playing as the Red Malay, teaming up with the Yellow Britons, Amsterdam. And what are the other teams? It looks like Assassin is the Green Italians, and will be teaming up with Delta USA, the Purple Vietnamese. And the final team is Gromazlaw, the Blue Vikings, and Colonia, the Orange Byzantines. This should be pretty epic. It's going to be difficult for me to keep track of the teams. So it's going to be red and yellow. Okay, and then this is the team. This is blue and orange. And then purple and green. Right off the bat, I'm going to start by pointing out how these two are awfully far away from each other. Our Delta USA plus Assassin team, purple and green, I'm going to be mostly referring to players by the colors to keep things a little more straightforward. They're awfully far away from each other, which will allow them to create a much more efficient trade cart line later on in the game. But simultaneously, it will make it harder for them to defend themselves. Whereas these two lovers, Colonia and Grom, very close to each other, able to create quite an efficient defense, actually. They're the only team that is able to do that. Now, they can't wall the shallows, that's true, but beyond that, I mean, they could actually probably protect themselves quite nicely and build a joint base. Now, yellow and red, on the other hand, they've got this very large gap of shallows between them, which they do have to deal with. One of the cool things about Saltmarsh, though, is it's a map where ships do see some competitive play, but they don't dominate the game because there aren't that many fish that are actually available. And that was the main difference between this and the Conquerors version of Saltmarsh, is that there are... the fish distribution used to be very imbalanced, so it's since been cut back and the map's been reworked a lot. It's actually turned out to be one of my favorite kind of standard maps that I wish would see a little bit more tournament play. It's actually all right. And there are, of course, additional forage bushes as well. It's an interesting map. Using ships as a way to get map control in the middle can be quite nice because they are more cost efficient than the normal land units. So let's see. Miklegard says, to do Yu-Gi-Oh meta, I want to see his brain melt. Used to own a store that sold Yu-Gi-Oh. It's stupid, fam. Enough people want to see me play Yu-Gi-Oh, maybe. I used to play a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day, but you know, I hear that the game has kind of... Well, I shouldn't speak about a game I don't play much about, right? Because then I'm going to give, like, an uneducated opinion on it. Basically, I hear that in some of the newer sets are, like, a little too ridiculous for some players' taste. I don't know how true that is, but it looks like the game is getting very complicated, that's for certain. So, in the early game, players are going to focus on building up their economy, right? They're going to focus on the food and wood resources, starting with food, you know, about 6 villagers on sheep initially, or in this case, water buffalo, then transition into a lumber camp where you put 4 villagers on wood. And if you want a deeper, in-depth look at a good build order that you should follow and you want to get really good at the game, you watch my Night Rush tutorial and my Aoe2 tutorials playlist, which is on my channel. Links in the description as always. But, for the most part, I'll be talking about general strategy in this game, since if you want, you know, all the basic stuff, then I've got plenty of videos on that. I even have miscellaneous coaching videos. This will not necessarily be one of them. This is a 2v2 game, so I'm going to consider this... There are basically 3 types of videos that I do on my channel. There are, like, the expert commentaries and whatnot, the break the metagames, all those types of things, which are tailored to some really in-depth strategy analysis, something for very experienced players to learn from, where I go really in-depth on interesting tips. Then there's like the lower rated sort of coaching series where I try and explain the basics to people, and I have a lot of videos on that, and some tutorials as well. And then there's the silly games, and this will probably fall into one of the more silly games. It's a 2 versus 2 versus 2, which requires a little bit of a different set of strategies. Is Assassin going to lure this boar, or is he going to mill it? We'll see, we'll see. I don't know if I would Oh no, this is a house, never mind. I thought that was a mill. I was like, I thought he was going to mill this and go for the 3 deer, because that would be a misplay. Because with only 3 deer, I actually do not think that it's worth it to mill 3 deer. In general, I would only mill deer if you have 4. And if you're very good at the game, you want to use your scout to push the deer underneath your town center, rather than actually build a mill next to them. Although if you're like the Japanese or something, it's probably fine. And in some cases, the deer will spawn. Like, let's say if they spawn over here, you just can't push them. It's okay to mill them. And especially if you have some sort of civ bonus, like you're the Mongols, you know, you can't possibly skip out on your deer in that case. So is it time for Grom's mining camp, or is it time for Grom's wall off? That's the question. This villager's lagging a little bit. We'll see. What's he doing? Mining camp. Alright, let's rate this mining camp placement. So, something I like to talk about a lot. I think this mining camp placement, I'm not sure if this is A+, but this might be A+. At least it's a very, very high score on the mining camp. This is something that is not extremely important if you're super new. The most important thing if you're super new is to just put your lumber camp up against the tree line. Make sure you do that. Don't leave any space. Make sure you're constantly rebuilding those. Keep your town center always working, all that jazz. But mining camp placement and mill placement is a science in itself. This mill placement, not excellent. But there are extra berries here, so maybe it is okay to build the mill a little closer to the berries, since there are more berries. But the idea is that, with the lumber camp, the trees recede away from you very, very quickly, since they only have 100 wood on them. The berries also disappear rather quickly, too. Well, actually, the berries disappear slower, so you usually want to leave, like, a tile gap, ideally, so your villagers don't get clumped up on each other. This is super important with the gold mine, though, because the gold, like, takes forever to disappear. This might be one of the better places he could do it, because he can probably put about 3 over here, probably put 2 on this, 2 on this, and even 1 on that, and he gets, like, really minimal clumping. This is also another excellent location for a gold mine. Same thing with stone mines, but with lumber camps, we want to be replacing them very, very much regularly. I thought he was going to, like, mill the other side of this for maximum efficiency, but Grom's not. Grom's not that kind of guy, don't worry about it. Sagam says you should analyze the game from the Viper where he used longswords versus eagles for the Break the Meta series. I don't know if that would necessarily be a good Break the Meta episode, but I see you put the Kappa in there, so maybe you're joking. It's difficult for me to tell, even with the Kappa on the internet, because longswords are obviously a counter to eagle warriors, but you don't see longswordsmen very often, so, you know, it could do that. If it was the Conquerors, I'd be more inclined to do that. So, let's see. King Smiley, thank you for the 1 bit, and Bullmeister, thank you for subscribing to Twitch Prime. I really appreciate all the recent support on Patreon and Twitch and through all the donations. Thank you so much. I hope you all, by this point, by the time it gets uploaded on YouTube or if you're watching live on Twitch, you've all seen my update video. I posted in the chat to explain current upcoming content as well as my situation, which means the donations are extra valuable to me. So thank you so much for helping me get through this month's run. This mining camp placement from Amsterdam is about a B-. Should be moved up a tile, I think, or up 2 tiles actually, ideally. There's a science to this. It matters that it does matter. It's not that important, but it does matter. This one's actually excellent. This house may cause some clumping, though, because the villagers in HD are, I don't know, they just seem to act as though they're fatter than they are, and then they get clumped up a lot. So this house may cause some issues, but this may be like near flawless mining camp placement in terms of how you can saturate that later. So yeah, that's part of the topic of today's video. Delta might be overdoing it in the housing department, but what I like that he's doing, though, is he's structuring his base to create kind of a makeshift wall off. It will be very difficult for him to close off his base, at least on the top side, but he's really trying to protect his gold mine. And I like this. He maybe built too many houses. Like, this is a lot of wood. These could be palisades. or like a second feudal age building. Because if you think about this, right, he could take these three, or these two houses, and this could have easily been either a second, this could have been archer range, I think. Or it could have been a blacksmith. So, well, this is the blacksmith, sorry. So this would be the archer range, because he already built the barracks, right? Minor mistake, doesn't really matter. There's gold mine placement, excellent. This mill placement is top tier. He's absolutely top tier. And when you're positioning your lumber camps, you want to kind of put them in a concave shape, ideally, so kind of like this. So that way your villagers get to, now they kind of get to move inward. A convex forest is a really bad place to put a lumber camp on. It starts to get really inefficient really quickly. Now, let's talk about strategy. What should you do in a 2 versus 2? Well, it's a little bit different than a free-for-all game. I have a lot of very interesting free-for-all King of the Hill games on my YouTube page as well, but this is different. In this case, I would say that I kind of like going for a double archery range rush, and then going for blacksmith. I kind of like this, because you are certainly in danger of being rushed. Now, scouting is going to be of utmost importance in a 2 versus 2, or just in general, I would say, if you... Yeah, just in general, I mean, scouting is extremely important, but it's even more important here, where 2 versus 2 versus 2 is a sort of off-meta type thing. So, you really want to know what your opponent's doing. If you don't scout a barracks, for example, you know he's fast castling, and he's being super-duper greedy, or the player hid the barracks. And what that tells you is, now's the time to just kill him, take him out of the game, and turn into a 2 versus 1 situation. And of course, scouting allows you to detect weak points in your opponent's defenses. Amsterdam does not have that many. Now since he did do some scouting, see, he saw these archers in advance, and he immediately, he began queuing up those skirms. You see that? He's doing a nice little mixed army here. I like this. I like this a lot. Oh, this is gonna be great. He's going to body Grom. Even though he has fletching, fletching is even more important when you're dealing with skirmishers, because you deal an extra 1 damage to them, so it's... So it's 5 versus 3 armor, so you're actually dealing 2 to them. Padded archer armor, once that comes into play, then the skirms are just such an insane counter. They're an insane counter regardless. But yeah, I love that Amsterdam is prepared for this. So what's going on up here? We're seeing some, something really hot. Spice Queen of Swaziland. Oh my. So this watchtower is actually pretty sick. Because Spice Queen of Swaziland can garrison the villagers in there, and they don't get stuck, and it also protects the gold. I like that a lot. The demo raft? What the fuck? My man, come on. Now don't use it to kill 1 archer though. What are you gonna do with this? What's he gonna do? Oh, he can't decide. He's gonna kill 1 archer? No, that's not cost efficient. Ooh, he couldn't do it because of the minimum range. You gonna kill the villager? Is he in range? I don't think he is. I love this build, but what are you gonna do with this? You need to catch a group of archers. Oh no! Oh, disaster. Oh, absolute disaster. Cut the video. No one saw that, right? Oh, God. He couldn't do it. He blew his load too early. Too early. But it was so tempting, right? Like, would you have done that? I might have done that. I might have pressed the button. How could you not press the button? But he wasn't close enough. The blast radius it's too small. It actually goes up by 0.5. When you upgrade to demolition ship, and then when you upgrade to heavy demo ship. So it's blast radius of 2, and then 2.5, and then 3. And was it worth it to interrupt the house? I mean, come on, demo rafts aren't that expensive, but you kill a villager, it's not a worthwhile trade. You have to catch a group of archers. Now, if you can catch a group of archers, he can redeem himself, and then he is immediately the new Tato. He's Tato's successor, basically. There's always has to be an apprentice. And I know Tato. I can contact him. We can arrange this. But he's going to need a good shot, I think, to redeem himself here. So let's go back to Spice Queen of Swaziland's perspective, though. I gotta say, that is... I love the build. He's trying to defend himself with watchtowers. But here's the problem. He can't create a makeshift wall up here because he's got the... Oh, no! This villager's boxed in! No! Spaghetti! Titanic. This is one of the reasons why people like watching low-rated... Oh, God. Watching low-rated games because the carnage. Spice Queen of Swaziland is about to get dethroned. Absolutely dethroned here by Assassin. That's why he's called Assassin. Also, this dude's got thousands and thousands of hours. Alright, so Spiceman of Swaziland with one of the hottest meme builds of 2017, to be honest. You know, this is legendary. I like this. Defensive demos. And defend yourself with watchtowers. Here's where Spice Queen messed up the greatest meme build of the century. Not enough villas on stone. If Spice Queen of Swaziland had a watchtower here, and I know that Red knows this now, so for future reference, when Red has mastered this video, and I have officially made Red Tato's apprentice, then we're good to go. He would have had the watchtower here beforehand and would have been absolutely A-okay. The build would kind of work. But the problem with going for defensive demo rafts is that you have to catch a group of archers, and assassins sending them in one at a time. Now, defensive galleys? I don't know. I mean, if you scout the map, it doesn't work because the shoreline, like, you can't do any raiding. It depends on who you're against. Who's vulnerable to galleys? I don't know. Maybe yellow is vulnerable? Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can cut them off. Maybe you make some galleys here. I don't know. I like this, but I think you should have waited on the demo raft. I think the demo raft it came out too soon. I think that this is the perfect way to bamboozle Assassin late game and just totally wreck his army. Inevitably, it's just going to be something that he's going to have to play around, but I don't think that the dock should have been the priority at all. I think this should have been delayed until about the Castle Age, and then that's when you do it. So, Mansider says this is exactly when noob games are great. Slapman says Spaghetti Titanic. It's the new emote. It's the combination of mem plus res. Herbig says, well, I can't say that. Well, that's how my video gets demonetized. Gets demonetized anyway. Dirk asked what map is this Salt Marsh. So, let's talk about Clunia. So, Clunia is in a lot of trouble. What should she do? She's being rushed by some Vietnamese archers by Delta USA, who is... His base is pretty well structured, actually. Delta's improved a lot over the years as a player. He's been here since the dawn of time. You yellow at Titanic big time. Hey man, your Castle Age timing is respectable, alright? I want you to know that. When you watch this later, your Castle Age timing is respectable as fuck for this situation. And your build was also super respectable, but I think that you put down the dock in the Castle Age. I want this build to work. I want you to know it can work. Dream big, friend. But he's responding to this correctly. Build that siege workshop. Build it. Get a mangonel out. You can do this. You can do this. You can live. You can live. The problem is though, is gold's over there. That's why you have to get the secret gold mine in the corner. You can tell I played a lot of Aoe2. No, but you need to get the siege workshop, you need to go hard in the stone, and you need to build a defensive castle to survive this game. He's got the watchtower here to protect himself too. He might be okay. He can use his villagers to pick off the battering rams. He can get a mangonel. He has enough gold. He can do it. He's not dead yet. So let's talk a little about Clunia. What should Clunia do? So she's making skirm. She's the Byzantines. Discount skirmishers. Sounds great to me. I think she's responded to this correctly, and I think Delta may have overextended. And Delta absolutely did overextend, yes. So Clunia... Oh man, Delta almost escaped. But it's the extra HP on the Byzantines' walls. 325 instead of 250 on the palisade is sick. Delta would have escaped otherwise, but... You know, it's those little things that people don't often think about that really can decide games. But was not able to escape Clunia's base, and now Clunia's fine. In the Castle Age with some discounted skirmishers. He even has the padded archer armor for maximum archer defense. But you still want to prioritize the... Oh, this is when you use the demo raft, my friend! Ah, to kill some villagers and delay this castle. Ah, major bummer. So sad to see such a brilliant off-meta build not quite being the most effective in the universe. Oh, back up, back it up, back it up, back it up. You're not good, you're not good. Don't keep going, don't keep going. You're not good, you're not good. Repair. Send the villager to the repair. She only has 7 HP. No. Yes. No. No, Spice Queen of Swaziland right-click the Scout Cavalry. Well, alright, I want all of you watching live to make up for the people who... Some people leave a dislike rating because they... Because they don't like to see misplays. But I know some people love to see the misplays because they're unpredictable, they're crazy. I mean, watch this guy's army get deleted by this castle in approximately 5 seconds. Watch this. You see this? You see this? Look at this. Look at this momentum swing. This is beautiful. Yeah, you get these in pro games and they upload expert games, but I need each and every one of you to counter out those dislikes. Smash that like button, just like Amsterdam smashed Grom's army. Don't you forget to do that when I post it in a month. Smash it for Spice Queen of Swaziland, who is in absolute deep shit. He's getting double castle drop by the assassin himself. That's why you call him assassin. I think this team's pretty dead. Now, I think Spice Queen of Swaziland is responding to this relatively correctly, but it's 28 minutes in, so he's like, he's dead. He's dead AF. He's at 17 population, so he's lost. He's lost the video game, let's be clear. What could he have done to avoid this? Well, not losing all of his lumberjacks to that castle was a start. That's actually when he lost. What he needed to do was somehow get a siege workshop out, so he responded correctly with this. Get a mangonel out. Again, he defended himself correctly with this, he just accidentally lost all of his villas to that castle, so that's why we call him the assassin. Green's deadly. And then he needed to heavily mine enough stone to build a defensive castle, install the game to the Imperial Age, long enough so that Amsterdam could drop that castle, blow up Grom, blow him to smithereens, and then come in for the defense. That's what he needed to do. Now, unfortunately, Spice Queen of Swaziland has not enough villagers to possibly come back in this game. Just at all. It just died. I don't see it. So, I don't see it. We're saying hi to a lot of people. Welcome to the stream, some people. Hello, El Mardo. Everyone's saying hi to El Mardo. Hello, Akhadi. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Fabade. Welcome to the stream. Pensei, we asked why do people dislike? I don't know, and I wish they wouldn't, especially on the content I upload for non-AoE2 videos. Now, obviously, I'm preaching to the choir here, but if you want to see more AoE2 content, you smash that like button. You smash that dislike button, and like that sends a signal to me, like, you know, why should I give a shit? You know? Yeah, I'm gonna post nothing but. I'm trying to think, what's the most ridiculous? I'm gonna post nothing but Hoonipop videos, like from now on. You know, when I see that. So if you want to see more AoE2 videos, support the content I do for other games. Otherwise the Hoonipop is coming. It's gonna be that forever. And the people who leave a dislike rating in the AoE2 videos, again, like, it doesn't support the channel. Like, if you want to leave me some feedback, the best way to do it is to leave a comment and be polite about it. But leaving a dislike rating on a YouTube video is pointless because it doesn't tell the content creator any meaningful information. It doesn't. Like, I don't know why you left the dislike. Like, I can assume, but I'm not going to assume your gender or your opinion in 2017. And if you want content of a specific style, you also have to be polite about it. Ooh, it sucks. Because you want the guy to actually listen to you. You know, you don't come up to somebody and be like, "Why do you play insert game here? You fat sack of shit." No one's going to respond to that. So you have to actually like talk to them like a normal person. But again, preaching to the choir here. I'm not a doctor, but this guy is dead. He did do the correct thing, though, which was evacuate and sacrifice a couple villagers. But Assassin is, once again, living up to his name, being truly merciless and actually tracking down Spice Queen of Swaziland's units as Amsterdam desperately tries to defend. He's trying to hold on to the best of his ability. Can he get a double mangonel shot here? He might. That's pretty good. Yeah, this is a delayed attack round. It's pretty good. I mean, Britain's in a pretty good matchup here versus the Vikings because the extra range, but it's the +2 armor that Grom has because Grom has the free handcart and wheelbarrow, right? He's got the eco for this. He's good to go. CLR browser has crashed. That sucks. 1 second. Big Lugar Drovic says, "So fam, that Unipop video, I need those strats for those alien tits." Oh no, I'm getting demonetized again. No. But seriously, I appreciate it. Thank you, Andrews, for subscribing, as well as Vic Lugar for the $5. If people want to see Unipop, I mean, I gladly do it. But basically, please don't leave dislikes. Like, support the channel. Is what I'm trying to say. Grow the AoE2 community. You want to expose more people to AoE2 by allowing me to branch the channel out, and you also want to support me, hopefully, right? If you actually like my content, yeah. Leave a dislike video if you think the video itself, like commentary was shit and the editing was shit. But yeah, a comment goes a long way. Let's talk about the actual game, though. I would like to... Okay, so... Colonia has... I've been too distracted with how dead this poor man is. Admire him for trying. What's with the monks? Interesting. There's quite a few monks in the defensive. Agavian says, "Hey Rose, want to tell you that while not always into AOC, I really believe you are the most entertaining caster I've ever watched. Great talent, no homo. JK, of course, homo." Thank you so much, Agavian. That's super nice of you. Thank you. I love reading all my comments. I love all... Thank you, man. It's so nice of you. Bear told us this is listening to you for like 2 hours, but was in-game couldn't type. I don't want to sound cringy, but honestly, you're a great person. Your humor is on point, and you do not need charisma. Hopefully, you'll make it as you deserve it. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome, and that's why, and I attribute that to the fact that I treat all my viewers with respect and like actual people rather than just numbers. So yes, I do read and take everyone's feedback seriously. I always do. I put a lot more effort into my channel than most do, and I actually take the time to read the chat and get to know everybody on a personal level too. I haven't talked that much about this bottom side because there hasn't been too much action besides Kalunia's nice little trap. Kalunia going for a fairly well-balanced build. One of my main concerns, I think, right now is that Kalunia, despite teaming up with Grom, who's very powerful right now, going for... I know that doesn't sound like it's just a standard Vikings build, but honestly, like, Arbalest is the go-to opening with the Vikings, because they've got such a strong eco to do it, and the Arbalest is such a strong power spike. It's such a cheap combination with Bracer and everything. Yeah, he's got Bracer, he's got the chemistry. Chemistry takes forever, but... Yeah, ooh, nice. See that save? Check this out. We're gonna see why Grom is law. Ah! Oh, no, never mind. Amsterdam's got the moves. Good juke. Amsterdam is a good player, too. He's actually been playing this matchup very well. It's just that Grom's got a lot of experience under his belt, and he's got a superior economy, and he also has a teammate that's not dead. Oh, no. Oh, no. The balanced units have arrived. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. All right, I gotta switch to Amsterdam's perspective. Here comes the... He's still got the happy feet, though. Ooh. Ooh. Look at these. Look at these units. Look at these champions for free. Oh, this is a dead man. This is a dead team, if I've ever seen one. Oh god, the carnage. Oh, so balanced. Was this even necessary, Green, you bully? Blue's not even on your team. Assassin is such a... He's so cold-hearted. He's killed so many people in his lifetime. He's so desensitized. He comes in here just to ruin Amsterdam's army, and then he fucking leaves. You see this guy? The flexor. So anyway, what's wrong with this unit? I'm gonna make a video on it, which will probably be already uploaded by the time this comes out. He needs the +1 armor. I mean, the main problem with this unit is it got overbuffed because a lot of people think they understand Age of Empires balance a lot more than they really do. The thing with this unit is it just comes out too quickly. Like, it's a champion, essentially, that you don't need to research a ton of upgrades for, and that is the main problem with the unit. I think if you overnerf the combat stats, the unit will be completely non-viable, and that's the wrong approach. I actually really love how Forgotten Empires has been balancing this unit by nerfing the creation speed, because the main problem with this unit is it's a degenerate fast Imperial Age rush unit on civilization with a discounted Imperial Age, so that's a recipe for disaster, and I think that increasing the creation speed further is even a good way to go about it. Or a slight nerf for the combat stats, but, you know, creation speed, good. I like that, it's clever. Keeps the unit as a viable late-game unit, but gives your opponent some time to actually play Age of Empires 2 and create some counters. So, bottom side of that, fairly peaceful, again, haven't talked too much about it. Clunia going for a very well-balanced approach. Really concerned about Clunia's economy, though. Like, let's go to her perspective. Yep, 70 pop. So, Clunia, I have to say, I'm very impressed with her defense against Delta early game, because Delta put on quite some effective pressure with those archers. But Clunia, by walling this area off, did not allow Delta an area to escape, and then Clunia responded by making some discounted skirmishers, and then managed to pick Delta off. And now Clunia is even reinforcing this with houses, which is, again, like, a smart play. So Clunia, I'm proud of her. Good stuff. Got the Elite Skirm upgrade. has a very strong just counter army here, just building counters to everything. So Clunia knows that fundamentally Age of Empires is a game of counters, and she's prepared for just about anything Delta can throw at her. However, Delta, though, has been watching my tutorials. I'm going to switch his perspective, and he's at 113 population outside the Imperial Age. So, in fact, Delta has been watching me now for over 3 years. So you know what? You know what his secret is? Here's the secret sauce. The Szechuan sauce that powers his economy. 3 town centers. You see that? He even just shift-clicked the villager button. He shift-clicked it. That's why Delta is so strong. And why Clunia might struggle. Because even though Clunia has the perfect army, she top-decked the only card that can defeat him. And she's also the only player collecting relics, which really matters in a 2 versus 2, where the game could go pretty late, honestly. And even though one team has been probably eliminated, the game could go on for a while, so Clunia is going to need every penny, and she could even tribute the gold to Grom. And Grom, you know, playing out of his mind, playing it... I know this sounds silly, but this is a standards Vikings game with the Arbalest opening. But the Vikings do, as I shown in my How Good Are the Vikings video, that the Vikings do have other options, and we are going to need to see Grom build some barracks. Absolutely. Grom will need to start putting down some barracks at some point soon, because he's going to need to start mixing in pikemen in his army, among other things, or maybe he'll... Actually, it's not going to be pikemen. He's probably going to need to mix in champions, right? Because there are Condotieros afoot, there's evil afoot, and this is a... Holy shit. Uh-oh. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have identified a problem here. Vietnamese plus Italians is a good combo, because Pavis... Wait, what the... Doesn't Pavis not apply to skirmishers? I thought we changed that. Excuse me one moment. Didn't we change that? Didn't Pavis used to apply to skirmishers? Didn't we change that? Yeah, okay. No, we did change that. Never mind. So, these should be fine. But regardless, this is still something that I think that honestly Grom should fear. That they both have access to Imperial skirmishers. Thank God we changed that. I was like, does Pavis still apply to Imperial skirmishers? That'd be so insanely broken. There's no way. Thank God we made that change. So, Grom should really fear this. He's going to need to transition to something else. Condottieros are always an option from the Italians as well. And, yeah, I mean, he's got the condos coming out. I think that this army will get bodied. The Arbalest is okay versus the Condottiero, but there's just a lot of Imperial skirmishers in here, and I don't think the Grom is prepared for this. So champions are good to tech into as a way to protect yourself from Condottiero flood, as well as beat the skirms. The Vikings don't get any cavalry units, because otherwise I'd recommend that. But then again, the Italians can just very easily end up making some of their elite Genoese crossmen, and then that's when you're in big trouble. Siege weapons that work too, like onagers, could work, but again, I fear the Condottiero a little bit. It's going to take good micro, so you're going to need maybe Arbalests plus onagers as a way to deal with this. But champions, I want to see champions teched in. Berserks would be very good versus this army. Berserks are generally better than the champion is. The Italians actually have decent cavalry units. They have the Bloodlines upgrade now, plus Hussar. Well, they've always had Bloodlines, but they got Hussar. And since Chieftains, the Vikings' unique technology, which is very expensive, actually applies the +4 attack bonus to all infantry units instead of just the Berserk, it applies now to champions and pikemen. That kind of covers everything that you need to fear from the Italians. And yeah, this is again an army that I don't think Grom is ready for. I'm assuming that there are arson on the Condottieros. I don't know where this army is going necessarily. I think you just pick off the TC and just start killing some people. But yeah, I think he's too focused on finishing the job, as Assassin doesn't get paid until the target is defeated. But what's he going to do against this army? I want to see some champions. And what do I want to see from Clunia? I want to see some eco. Clunia knows all the counters. Clunia's got all the upgrades. She's doing great. She's got the university. I love it. She's prepping for a good war versus Delta, which I'm really looking forward to watching. I think this is going to be a great battle unfolding. Yes. But Clunia's double TC approach, she's got a third one now. but you know, a little late in the third TC, I think. And Delta's army, I mean, I like it. It's he's not making a mistake that most Vietnamese players do. Classic mistake. Delta must have seen my recent Vietnamese upload too, where you build an army that's just like nothing but rattan archers and Imperial skirmishers, and then your opponent makes like one cavalry in it, and you lose your entire army. Oh fuck, he's making Berserks, nice. Berserks do work here. They work very well. The regen is extra valuable versus the Imperial skirm's low attack stat. It's super good. Berserk spawn quickly. They look great. They're good. They're good here. I'd love to see that. So yeah, good to see the pikeman from Delta USA. That's a very good play on his part. It's odd that he's actually pushing down this direction. I think this is a minor mistake. I think he can actually siege this siege this castle safely, but he might not know it's there. Oh, never mind. Not a misplay. Delta doesn't know it's there. Sure, he could be scouting his opponent first before planning his attack, because he's trying to plan a sneak attack down here. But Clunia, not born yesterday, actually with the house wall behind this, which Delta sees now, so his sneak attack will not be that effective. And yeah, Grom, I mean, this would be a sad way to see him go, considering I think that he got too preoccupied with finishing the job over here. I mean, you don't need any military units over here. Yeah, now he's sending in the Arbs, but God, that Imperial Skirm combo is really something to deal with. So let's see how he comes out on top here. We'll see. This is going to be a rough situation for him, but Grom's army has arrived, so let's go to Grom's perspective and see if he can salvage this, because he's lost a lot of his economy. So, just a couple messages. Corvick says, it applied to skirms. Yes, I know it used to. I just was double-checking that we did change that, and now it does not. Okay, so that's the only thing. Reaper says, Berserks are almost never bad, TBH. That's why we love you, Reaper. Scum says, it looked great, Kappa. Oh, doesn't that matter? That does matter. Come on. How many of you make cataphracts because they looked cool? At least when you were a kid. Everybody raise their hand. People in the YouTube comments, raise your hand as well. Teutonic Knights? They look so cool. Looks do matter. They do. Two-handed swordsman? You know, there is a line for everything. There's a line for everything. People tell me in the Age of Empires 2 community, and I've been around it since the very beginning, that they think the two-handed swordsman looks cooler than the champion, but nobody's willing to make that sacrifice of making two-handed swordsman instead, despite that. So there is a line that you have to draw. So, Grom, able to defend. Why? The answer, my friends, is the word of the day. And it's one of my favorite jokes. It's the word of the day. We're 54 minutes into the game, and I haven't said it yet. And I'm not going to say it again. The word of the day is rush distance. The rush distance, it's too damn far. Look at this man. This is some ghost-like stuff over here. He's to walk his guys over here. You're going to take forever. It's going to take an absolute eternity. It's not going to... It's very hard for Assassin to reinforce this. So what's Assassin got to do? Well, he's got to build some military buildings that are closer. In order to do that, well, he's got to clear out some of this base. Which Grom's actually fortified with castles, which is smart. So good on him. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the map, we got a bit of an army here. And it's good to see both these players building a well-balanced army. I like this army from Clunia again. And I like that Clunia never forgets her upgrades. That's great. And she's got the bombard cannons. Thank goodness. As a way to deal with these trebs, which I don't think she sees yet, but will need to deal with. Like, this army, this is how I like to play the Byzantines. This is absolutely fantastic from Clunia. Is that I like to go for a very archer range heavy build, and then... But you need bombard cannons if you do that. Otherwise, a single onager shot and you're just done. You're absolutely done. And you have no way to deal with siege weapons, so... good on Clunia. And the Clunia versus Delta, I mean, I'd watch a 1 versus 1 between the two of these. They're very evenly matched. They have different strengths. Like, I'd say that Delta is better with managing his economy. And so far, Clunia has been better with managing her military. So we'll see. Can she keep this up? That's the question, because I think the rattan archers are a pretty good surprise unit to mix in here. Ooh, bombard cannons. I mean, and Clunia just... Clunia also does not have enough military production facilities So while I say she's been managing her military better, it's now falling apart a little bit. I think that Delta... Alright, so Delta just has a better Imperial Age. I think he just does. So he has more unit production facilities. See, he's got 4 ranges and everything. Yeah, Colonia needs more archer ranges. I'm pretty sure Colonia has a lot of money in the bank. Yeah, we'll check in a minute. He also says, don't worry, we're still in the game. We still fine, fam, don't worry about it. You fight that Jaguar. Come market. Oh, shit. Guys, red's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine, it's fine. Now, I do kind of want to see an Auditor, honestly. I do kind of want to see that. Agavian, oh no, yeah, I already read your donation, good. McKay says, that's why the Malay's so good, only getting 2-handed swordsmen. Touche. Oh yeah, that's true. I think everyone here has to thank Sijin and Effie for creating a civ. Well, yeah, for creating a civ where 2-handed swordsmen are good. That way we get to enjoy the cool 2-handed swordsman. That's actually props decision there, because when I was playtesting the Malay a lot, and I was really heavily involved in the design of the Rise of the Rajas and Rise of the Rajas civs, like really heavily involved in that. But the Malay are Sijins, baby. They, like, one of the things I pointed out during testing, I was like, because they had champions at one point, they did. It was just a little bit too good, and Sijin had to make an interesting decision, which was what do I do? They used to have no plate mail armor, and they had champions. And obviously we had to try that, right? Like, I know that some of you may look at that in retrospect and be like, well, what the fuck? Of course that's going to be broken. They don't cost gold, of course. But we wanted to test that, because back then the Civ had a lot of differences. And this is like really, really early Rise of Raja stuff. You know, it was broken, right? Of course. Of course it was. It was no surprise to any of us. And that led to the birth of the only viable 2-handed swordsman civ in the game. And I like it because it works. It was a clever change. It was. And we were very happy with how it wasn't... Oh my god, how the fuck did that Onager live? That's really significant, because Colonia is going to get another Onager blast shot, but doesn't deal enough damage. Yeah, Colonia is in a lot of trouble here. Even making Onagers, so Colonia... Okay, Colonia is better with her military unit choices. Delta's is good too, but the Imperial Age is stronger for Delta. Yeah, we were really happy that the free 2-handed swordsman was not actually too overbearing and was kind of like just about right. Where we got things a little bit off was the elite Karambit warrior, but if you want to hear more about that, I am doing a series of Aoe2 HD balance analysis videos, which probably by the time this is posted on YouTube is actually already out, so want to hear more about that, then by all means. Mick Lugard says, Red is rebuilding back in his old base near the sneaky gold point. Of course he is. Of course he is. He's the Spice Queen of Swaziland. And he's the Malay. Build some infinite fish traps. Do it. Do it. Are they trading? Oh my god, they're trade cogging. I love the lower rated games. But I need you to help me come up with better video titles. So people in the Twitch chat, please suggest me some better video titles near the end of this video. I don't know what to title this. Again, I think Grom was unprepared. He played a fantastic, like, near-flawless game all the way up until everything changed when Assassin attacked. But, you know, he got that name for a reason. He's certified, PhD, went to school for killing. Here he goes, killing again. He was unprepared. He was unprepared. Like, wait, yeah, because Grom doesn't have the gold to get Elite Berserk. He doesn't have the eco for this. Like, when the army showed up from Assassin, he lost so much of his economy. He's making Berserks now, which is the way to go. And that makes me so very happy that Berserks are absolutely the way to go, and they're so good here. They're so good here, it's disgusting. They beat the Condotierros, they beat everything. They destroy the trash units, they regen off the HP, but he's missing upgrades. You need Elite Berserk. No one makes regular Berserks and is happy about it. So maybe, you know, OP. He's gonna have a really hard time rebuilding his eco. I love the well-balanced army from Delta. Delta's, I'm proud of Delta. He's come a long way. He's not a high-rated player, and learning Age of Empires 2 is complex as hell, but this guy's got a good attitude about it. Like, he does. Like, I never see Delta rage, ever. and he's just constantly trying to get better, and it's really cool for me to see viewers like him who have stuck around since the dawn of time. Like, again, he's been watching my stuff for 3 years, and see the difference. See the difference in how much he has improved. And I want to see that difference in everyone. Like, his army comps now are way more balanced than they used to be. His eco is way better. Look at this base. This base is great. Yeah, he's playing just a solid game. He's getting his upgrades. He doesn't have all of them, mind you. He's missing a lot of them, but he's prioritizing them correctly. Like, he went for Bracer first over Padded Archer Armor. That is correct, but he still needs Padded Archer Armor. He is missing Chatras, but no one remembers Chatras' thing. I think I would prefer Bombard Cannons over Capped Rams, because Bombard Cannons do beat the Onagers that Clunia was making, but Clunia is going to call OP there, call GG there. Clunia and Grom are indeed dead. Yeah, Grom got caught off guard. I think he needed to preemptively tech into something to deal with Assassin's army. Yeah, and congratulations to Assassin and Delta for playing one hell of a great game. I really enjoyed this one, like, just so much, so much. Yeah, Grom needed to preemptively prepare for this. He needed to get either Elite Berserk. I think Elite Berserks were the way to go. I think he needed to get that tech way earlier. He was tunnel visioning. He was really enjoying the rush of eating Amsterdam up. So BM of Assassin to come in there and just like clean up Amsterdam's like crossbows and then like back out and then come back later. Obviously not BM, I'm just joking, but that's pretty funny. Yeah, I think he got too preoccupied. Like, Amsterdam and Swaziland were very, very weakened at that point, and I think that once Grom crippled them enough, he should have like backed up and started prepping for the defense. Because Assassin had run out of food. He had run out of things to eat on this side. We knew he was coming. We knew he was coming eventually, so he needed to attack into anything to defeat this. Because the Imperial Skirmishers, I mean, this is a pretty... Imperial Skirmishers are much stronger than regular Skirmishers are. They get the extra attack damage, they get the extra Pierce Armor. The extra Pierce Armor is really important because it makes them much better versus Arbalests. Because Arbalests would normally be able to deal 2 damage to an Elite Skirmisher, but here they only deal 1. So that is a massive, massive, massive difference. And the Imperial Skirmisher has extra attack and attack bonus too. And then the Condotieros, like, you need some sort of melee unit to deal with... I mean, like, Arbalests do deal with them, but you can't just use a mono-Arb army versus this Italian's army. You need something like Berserks, I think. And then he would have been good to go. And as far as Clunia went, like, she put up such a great fight versus Delta, but Delta, with a great army comp, was just able to push in there and win the game. And where Clunia lost was not having enough military buildings and not a large enough economy. She made some really good plays during this game, but she fell behind in military production. Only 2 archer ranges. If there was like a 3rd one put in there, that would have been great. Clunia knows all the right military units to create. She just needs more buildings to create them from and more villagers to create them with. Hopefully I broke that down in a way that was useful for everybody. As always, you know, I read everyone's comments, even if I don't get a chance to respond to each of them individually, so if I said anything that was insightful or you like my commentary, let me know. It's always good to know the things I do right so I can keep doing more of them. So yeah, and thank you. Amsterdam versus Swaziland. The case is, you would have been if you remembered Infinite Fish Traps, Spice Queen of Swaziland. Oh yeah, Spice Queen of Swaziland did forget Infinite Fish Traps. Watch this video later, Swaziland, because you made some sick plays. Also, building back in the corner over here was sick too. These trade cogs were sick. The demo rafts were sick. I think that you would have been fine if you tried this amazingly clever, fantastic play a little later. Because I think you built the dock a little too early. Like, you wanted to catch a massed group of units. And in the early game, like, your build, I loved it. But I cover it in the videos, and I'm going to cover it again. Maybe build the dock a little bit later. You responded, like, to the best of your abilities, but it was real tricky because you didn't have enough stone for another watchtower over here. But I loved your build. If your teammate wasn't completely dead and it was a closer game, you could have built like a shitload of fish traps and just like full Malay zerged the crap out of them later and just pulled the comeback of the century. But you absolutely resigned at the right point, though. There was no way, but there was the possibility. Yeah. Just congratulations to Delta and Assassin. I actually really liked this 2 versus 2 versus 2. It felt fair. It felt interesting. I think I provided some insightful commentary. Hopefully, Twitch chat. What do I title this video? I am actually going to do one more game after this, but I'm going to be playing a little Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds, believe it or not. I need stock footage for a video. It's funny, because I basically work 9 to 5. Still, it's just I'm doing YouTube, Twitch stuff, and, even though I'm only streaming like twice or 3 days a week, YouTube takes so much upkeep, Twitch takes so much upkeep, Discord as well. All my channels, drafting videos, takes so long to create high-quality content that you guys enjoy. It takes such... it's a full-time job. It's a full-time job, but it doesn't pay like one. But I am overjoyed that there have been so many people that have pledged to my Patreon to allow me to actually pay the month's rent and just help me out. So thank you so much, and all the new Twitch subscribers. It doesn't pay like a full-time job, and I really need to grow my YouTube channel further still, but the people who don't use Adblock too as well, thank you. I'm surviving, that's what counts, and I'm happier than I was before. So. Cog in the Marsh? I can't call it that. What do I call it? Yeah, good teamwork, Delta. I mean, like, this was a sick game, and I'd like to watch the Colonia versus Delta one-on-one. You two are very evenly matched, and this was just a really good game. This is just a good game in general. Like, Amsterdam versus Grom was also absolutely fantastic. And Swaziland versus Assassin was fantastic, too. Even though Swaziland did die, on a scale of 1 to 10, I mean, his build was, like, at least a 9, right? Can we not give him that? We could give him a gold star. His build was sick. His responses were sick. The only thing he was missing, I guess, was the infinite fish traps, right? So this 22 says, yes, been waiting for I don't know how long for some Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds. Yeah, I mean, I've been wanting to do it for a long time, but, previously I'd been working 60-hour work weeks, and I'd come home at the end of the day just, like, so drained and exhausted that, and I had so much work to do that I never really had time to play games, so, yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of Galactic Battlegrounds. I'm streaming extra long today, and it's really hard on me to do that because I have super severe asthma and allergies, so I'm, like... it's a struggle. Everything is a struggle. Yeah, see, Colonia? Colonia. If you make more military buildings, and you make more villagers, you're gonna be the best player in the universe. Because you know your counters. You know your counters. And you made a lot of good plays. I want every player in this game to watch this commentary later, because hopefully y'all learn something. And the people who didn't play anything, who didn't play in this game, should have also learned a lot. Yeah, Kaluna, you make some more villagers, you make some more military buildings, you're gonna... 5D chess master. Yeah. Did Delta ever make enough villagers? No, you did. You did. Yeah, at one point Delta did not, but, yeah, Delta's just improved so much. Like, this is a great game to watch. And Assassin doing his thing, and Grom playing out his mind, everyone playing out his mind. Amsterdam, some good plays, Colonia, good plays, Assassin, Grom, Delta, Swaziland, just, it's a pleasure to watch. I'll post this on YouTube in a couple of weeks. Please do leave a like, rating, and a comment if you want to support the channel. Most importantly, if you want to support the channel, I can't convince too many people. I'm preaching to the choir here, but I will produce more AoE content, and I'll be more motivated to continue producing AoE content the more support I get for the games beyond just AoE2. I say it a lot, but it's really important to expose people from outside gaming communities to AoE2. It really is. We want to grow the community. We don't want it to stagnate. We want this game to last for an eternity, because it is one of the best games, if not the best game I've ever played. So we want to expose those people to the game. And it also supports the channel and my sanity, so... But think of it as you're doing a service for the community. And you know what? You might enjoy it too. Because I think that some of my best videos, not all of them mind you, but some of my best videos are ones with very little views that are not Age of Empires content. Like, I think Heroes with Friends Episode 5 is absolutely hilarious. You might accidentally enjoy it. You might enjoy it. Cherry Lister says, good for you to hang in there, Rez. Hope it pays off long term. Me too, dude. Me too. It's been a struggle. I have been I've been exhausted, but I'm thrust into a weird situation where I got to figure out what I want to do with my life. And in the meantime, I'm gonna try to improve YouTube and Twitch. Do the best I can, man. See you, Corbic. Penn says, do you play AoE anymore? Anytime I get on here, you're spectating only. I really prefer to cast. I've always preferred to cast. I prefer to cast in every game. I do play AoE, though. I do post videos sometimes of me playing AoE, but... Thank you for keeping your sub, by the way, this entire time. No, I mean, I played even fairly recently on stream. I play from time to time, yes, but I just prefer to cast. I do. I have way more fun casting than I do playing. It's stressful to play on stream, and I feel like I can't offer as insightful as a commentary, and I don't have as much time to practice these days, but I will play on stream again too, yes. It'll happen. Phil McCracken says, when's a good time to ask you about Resbot after the break, perhaps? I will do one... Make sure you watch the update video, because I talk about Resbot a bit in there. There's another update coming to it, it's just, it'll take like... It's in 2018, you know, so it'll be a while. Pensei says, of course I kept my sub, man. You're a legend in my eyes, and you really brought me to the game. And had a big hand in making it my #1 game. Oh, thank you, Pence! Thank you so much. Thank you. Dude, your sub helps a ton, Bandsider. If any of you are subscribed to me on Twitch, or you're a $5 plus Patreon supporter, make sure, if you're a Patreon supporter, check your email to redeem your rewards to join the Patreon. And if you're a Twitch subscriber, before I run my quick break and go do some Galactic Battlegrounds, streaming extra long today, I can survive this, I can do it. If you're a Twitch subscriber, make sure that your Twitch and Discord accounts are linked. The instructions are below the stream under subscriber benefits, but I'm going to reorganize this. So what you do is if you're subscribed on Twitch, then open Discord, go to user settings in the bottom left, click connections, then Twitch, then you should be able to join the server. Alright, I'm going to be right back in a couple of minutes. I also need to grab a snack, so slightly longer break, then I'm going to play a little Galactic Battlegrounds, and I'm going to call it a day. Thank you, Phil McCracken. You're all wonderful. Mansider says, sorry, sorry, I meant don't see many streams. Yeah, I don't have the stamina to stream very often. It's very exhausting. And I have a lot of YouTube videos I have to do right now for my Patreon that are very time consuming. But you can expect to see more streams from me. And I am a firm believer in quality over quantity, right? So you can expect to see more streams. Alright. You can get lamed by Rosebot. Alright, we'll be right back after the break. Please stay tuned for Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds. If you're watching this live right now and you're like, why should I stay tuned for Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds? What is that game? It's AoE2 in space. It's Star Wars Age of Empires 2. It's pretty awesome. I think you'll like it. Yeah, I think you'll like it. Alright, stay tuned. Take a slightly longer break, need a snack and some water and run out of voice. Thank you so much for the support, everybody. No, Spooky Magician. No. We're still going.